You are the absolute first one. Hello there in Scotland. Yes, you all. I've already done 3 videos today, but that was just reading because I felt led to do that reading. I did. So I wanted to read the whole entire book of Revelation without adding any personal or private interpretation to it, because it's just like it's like when you tell somebody something. Say I could be telling you something, I could speak some words, or you could read something that was written from me, and you would quite possibly receive it in a whole totally different way than what it was written or what I say. So it's best to come to your own conclusions about things like that. It really is, and it's all right. But that book of Revelation is an apocalyptic book. It's a book that is foretold of what would happen in the future. So you have to ask yourself, even with the Nostradamus prophecies and things like that, and the Edward Casey and all these other things, even in like the Old Testament and stuff, are we living in the past? Because things that have already passed, we can look back, and the present and the future, because even the past, it told us what would happen in the future, which is oftentimes in the present right now. This present is the future that was spoken about in the past. I know that sounds kind of wild. So if these people can look into the future and they can see what happens, then has that future already happened? And therefore it's in the past, even though you're living in the present and you're living that future. That's what I've been thinking about. That's what I think about lately. Not too lately, but I have thought about that the present is the future that was spoken of in the past. And if the book of Revelation, let's speak about that, how it's telling what's going to happen in the future, it's already happened. It's because it's written in past tense, because he saw the vision in the future, you all. Everything's written in like things like that. It's past tense. If it's already happened, can a person go back and change what was already written? You've heard of time travelers and stuff like that. Isn't that wild? If it's already happened, they saw into the future what already happened, and they relate it to the people in the present and to people that were way back there in the past. It's mind-boggling. Hello there all. Hello everyone. It's merged into the past, present, and future. That's right. It's wild. It is really wild. It's a concept to wrap your mind around, you all. But we can wrap our mind around it. Yes, we can. That's right. Let me tell you, does somebody know something about the barometric pressure? When I woke up this morning, that barometric pressure was all the way up there on that, the needle was pointing at 29. And I thought, oh, wow, it's pointing at 29. I used to know what it meant because I used to be up on that. But you all, that was years ago, years and years ago. And I wonder if the barometric pressure has anything to do with headaches, the swelling of your joints and things like that. Whenever it gets low, you get sick. And when it's high, I don't know what Christine, honey. Christine. I'm thinking you got some new terminology going on right there, Christine, honey. That kind of funny. Yeah, you are. That's all right. It's good to laugh. If you can't laugh, then something's wrong. You need to laugh. You've seen many theories that say that we are living all at once. The past, the present, and the future. And the universe lives in a 5-day. We live in 3. So seed time differently. They rise. That sounds pretty interesting, Barbara. It does. Yeah. So if something is to be, okay. So let's like wrap our mind around this. So if it's already happened in the future, and it's a foretelling to us in the present what is to come, what if is there any way possible that that future that is written about, is there any way possible that that future could be not real? Now, some people may think, oh, that's not real. But if someone sees into the future what's going to happen, it's supposed to happen. More or less it is. Although you have the theory of time traveling where they want to go back in time because they know what happens in the future. They want to go back in time and try to mess up the past so the future does not occur. But can they really do that? Do they have the ability to tinker with the future like that? That's a question too. I'm sure some people would love to do that. And I know there's books out about time travelers and stuff like that. The Baron Trump book and stuff like that, you all. I don't know about any of that stuff. I only know about it by name. All I know about when they can look into the future and they see something, that means it's already happened. But that's okay, you all. It is all right. Yeah, it is. That's right. Well, I think we got a ways to go, but I think we're living in the future and the past and the present. I think that I can wrap my mind around that, and that does vibe with me. The past, present, and future, living in all three of them right now. Really, and if we are, you all, what does that mean for our spirits on the inside and our souls on the inside if it's the past, present, and future right now? Yeah. Hello there, Nadine. We're going back to the way things used to be. Yeah, welcome everybody. Yeah. Well, let me see this. Tammy Lynn Honey. By no means we're not talking about, just live in the past, things that have already happened that that you are holding on to. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the bigger picture, theoretically speaking. Yeah. No, I'm not going to go live in the past that used to be because I want to live right here and now. Yeah, we're just talking about that right there. Yeah. You're not ready for winter. I'm trying to get ready for winter, you all. I am. But the future, the prophecies and stuff, it's wild. It is really wild. I do want to, there's something I wanted to say too. I was going to do a video. When was that? Yesterday? I was going to do a video last night. I don't even know what I did a video on last night, you all. I cannot remember what I did a video on last night. I know I woke up. I didn't even go to sleep. When I went to bed, I got caught on the ships in the sky in Colorado on the FAA webcam. Those ships are in the sky. They're in the clouds, you all. The ships are. If you had not seen that video, and what was really interesting about that, there was like these brown heads or brown spheres in the clouds. And I seen them on those ships that I captured. I've seen them and I documented. I remember zooming up on them. And last night at the very end of that video, as we were looking at those round spheres in the clouds, they were dark brown and some of them were white. When I went to my computer, I was on my laptop, there they were in the pictures of the ships. But you could see the ships a lot better, but you could still see those round spheres. And it's wild. It's like interdimensional, but yet they're here now. Yeah. Whoo. Timelines are merging. Yeah. You got to go walk your doggies. Christine, honey, you go walk those doggies. I normally try to walk every night too. Sometimes I get to walk. I will try to walk. Aw, look at that cute little chipmunk. Where did it go? It's down here. It is hiding underneath there. It really wants somewhere to hide its stuff, but we got nets all over these, so it can't hide in there, you all. So, yeah, the past, the present, and the future. And That takes us to predestination. You know, there's a theory of predestination. And then there is that thing like called deja vu. When you have the deja vu and you say, I've done this before. Now, how is that possible for you to have done something before if you hold to the theory that this is the only one life you get right here? How can people have a deja vu? As if they've done something, the same thing before. You've been there, you've done that. How can that be, really? Because then you have the, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. See, there's lots of clues out there. Yeah. Forward is the only way to go, you all. We can't go back. We can't go back. There's only forward now in this present life that we have. Yeah. You've always had the deja vu, Tammy. Some people have memories. Some people have memories of a past life. And some people can tell you what they look like, too, in that past life. I worked with a girl who, she had a very strong feeling of who she was in a past life. And you know, there's stories of children with the past lives, who they were before they got thrown into the body that they're in. How is that possible? How can a little child make something like that up? And then when they get to a certain age, something happens and that memory is gone completely. That memory is no longer there. You get the deja vu in the mornings. Yeah. If you was an Indian boy and you died at a young age. Well, nature spirit, honey, I was thinking about the past, present, and future. Now, I saw myself in the past, well, in my dream state, when I was standing right here at times and over in the yard. The last image that I saw, I was a black lady. I had a vision of me, and I was standing in my side yard, and my face came up to me. And I thought, who is that? And I thought, it doesn't look like me now. It didn't. Her face was right here in front of me. Her hair was like this, and it was short. Her face was a tad bit wider. And I looked at her in the eyes, and it was me. It was me. That's what I saw. It was me, you all. That was the last time I saw somebody like that. Have you ever had that happen? Had come up right straight to you? They say that there's people that say that they live many lifetimes on this earth, and they can tell you. I've done something where I'm like in my 23rd lifetime on this earth. There's a theory that they recycle the souls. That's a theory too. You may not agree with it. I've never heard of any of this kind of stuff. The first time I ever heard of anything like this, it was years back, probably in 2014 or so. I heard about this. I thought, you know, that's not biblical. That's not biblical. That is not, there is no reincarnation, because I never heard about it. I never did. I've heard about it now. And there's something to it. There really is something to it. You wrote poems when you were a kid, and you feel I'm living it now. Sonia. Wow. That's interesting. And when you said that, I hope that if it's meant, I want to do the video that I wanted to do, I guess, last night. And it was deeply, it was paranormal, yet it was very spiritual. And it's something like that, how you write things, and then it comes like the never-ending story. You know how he was reading the book, Sebastian, and as he read the story, he was part of that story. Yeah. Deja Vu, Susan Donahue, has done all of this many times before. And if you have, could it be that the veil is thinning? The veil is thinning on our lives, and we're being able to see much more spiritually than before. Because if we couldn't, how could we face a future that we would need that type of ability within us, really? How could we if we weren't like growing that way spiritually? That would be hard. I want to continue to grow spiritually. I really do. I want my eyes to be well equipped, my spiritual eyes and mindset to be well equipped for the road ahead. Raising the frequency. Yes, the souls are waking spiritually. Several memories of other lives, just small pieces. Small pieces. And so now let's talk about this. The past, present, and future. Could we be living in it? Okay, say that you run into somebody, total stranger. You see them, and you look at them, and you say, do I know you? You look awful familiar. And they may say, no. But see, your spirit that you know you look really familiar to me. Or a total stranger, you meet them, you get to talking, and it's like you've known them your whole life. Just like that. It doesn't take long for you to know all about them because of your spirit. There's got to be something to it. There has to. Tammy, you know me? Yeah. People that we meet, and there's an immediate spiritual connection. And then people that and it's a good one. And then people that we meet, there's immediate spiritual connection. And we know that, no, you don't like them. Why don't you like them? You've never met them before in your whole entire life. And you running into a total stranger and you don't like them and you can't put your finger on it, but you're bound and determined within your spirit. I do not like that person at all. They're not to be trusted. How is that? How can you have such strong intuitiveness when you lay your eyes on a stranger, a total stranger, and you know within your spirit? How can that be? I think it can be. I really do. Yeah. Just like that. You feel like you've been an Egyptian in the past. Whoo! That's right, you all. You felt like that with your husband, that you had already met him. That's really interesting. Well, when I met my husband, when it finally dawned on me, I was dating somebody at the time. And when I saw him, he was getting ready to relocate. And I saw him, and I knew right then and there within my spirit, I was supposed to marry him. Right there, right then and there, that is who I was supposed to marry. And I did. Has it been easy? We've had our ups and downs like everyone else, but I'm still here, you all. I'm still here. It's like a knowing within, a knowing. And there's certain people that our spirits are drawn to. It's their energy. And could it be that we are part of one great big spiritual family? Now, there's something that people have called a theory called the soul contracts. You signed a contract. You signed a contract to come back with a certain whatever to come back on the earth. Now, I don't know much about that. I only know of it just partly, that is a theory, that people agree to come back here at a certain point in time to this earth. See, that's kind of wild too. When I found all this stuff out several years ago, I thought, this is wild. It's wild. Why was it wild? Because I only had one mindset embedded in here, just one. I only knew what I was told. That's all. From my upbringing. That was it. Only knew what was told to me. It's just like history. We only knew what was told to us in school, you all. That's it. But then there's other history. Other things, really other important things that have been left out. You suppose you lost your soul in your dream and it went dark. Yeah. Tammy, that's true. I think that we do get guided. I'd want to be guided. If my spirit's going to guide me, it better guide me down the right path that's going to bring forth the most growth in my spirit. It, it better not drive me down a path that's going to literally destroy me. I don't want that. And I mean that. I do not want that. Yeah. You constantly been learning and researching. You agreed to come back to Earth the last time to help each other. And you know, that's what a lot of people have said too. Well, then it's just like me when I stood right here. And the three people came down. The two humans came down on one of my main convergent lines right there. The older lady, who was right there, and the small extraterrestrial. That older lady was me in the future because I seen myself in a dream state. And I thought, is that me? I put on weight. And the younger lady that stood right there, she looked like me in my past when I was around 30 with the long brown wavy hair. I knew what was going to happen, you all. I knew it. That she was going to be me, I was going to be her. Some people call that a walk-in. See, I don't really know much about the walk-ins. I don't, but I can assure you I am me, past, present, and future on the inside of here. This is me right here. The only thing that changed is I came out of my shell more, is what happened, because I've known that I was a very old soul, just like you, even since you were little. Even since you were little, a very, very old soul. If you have been to this earth time and time again, and you're getting tired of it. Yeah. Grafted in and adoption. Well, I did self-shine. I did. My hair was short like this, but I got chubby. But it was me. It was me. Because I had to look at myself, and I thought, who is that lady? And it was me. But that's okay. It's fine, you all. It is. It's fine and dandy. Have I ever had a near-death experience? The closest I got was when my car flipped on black ice. It's been several years ago, early in the morning, going to pick up my friend from work. I didn't know it. I came around a 90-degree turn on the country road, and then I was twirling around in the air, and I thought, this is it. I guess this is what it feels like to have a near-death experience. So I thought, oh my gosh, I was like suspended in space. And then my car landed. My car landed on top of a massive flower bed with had a brick wall around it. And I was feeling myself, I think, and I was still in my seatbelt too. I thought, well, guess that's not my time to go. And I thought I was going to drive back, going to go and drive into work. I got out. I didn't realize I was on a flower bed. My back window on it was a Ford Escape. It was all busted in. My back tires were flat. My front tires were bent in like this. And I thought I was going to go somewhere, you all. I didn't go nowhere. Called my husband come pick me up. Yeah, that's the closest I got right there. It wasn't my time to go at all. You remember everything, and it was a beautiful and magical. As far as seeing the other realm, no. Nope. And you know, there's a theory that when you get abducted, just like that, like they made the agreement with the aliens to use humans, and then they have to wipe their memory. They have to wipe their memory clean so they don't remember anything. You all, what's up with that? You want to get abducted by aliens, and they got to give the information to the governments of the people that they abducted so they can keep track on them, but yet their minds had to be wiped clean. It don't work all the way that like that all the time, because some people do remember. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Jay Bird, honey, no, absolutely not. No alien entity crawling in the bed with me. No. I don't know if I'd like that. I would not like that. I would. That'd be scary to me. No. I've heard of instances where that's happened with people. I have. And, yeah, I've heard of it. It's not fun. There's good aliens here. That's right. And you know what? What if angels are considered aliens according to certain mindsets on this earth? What if Jesus is considered an alien according to certain mindsets on this earth? What if? And just think about the 4 beasts in Revelation with big wings, eyes all in their wings. Their wings have eyes on them, both of their wings, front and back. That they called them a beast. Could you imagine seeing something like that, you all? How did that being come into being? With eyes all over its wings and heads like a lion and stuff? Come on now. This is wild stuff, you all. That would probably terrify a person. They think, "Oh man, that's really scary." But that's what it said. That was the description. Like that, you all. So yeah. Some people you run into, it's like they are an alien, really, because they seem so foreign, you all. They do. But then aliens walk amongst us. And really, I heard that when you use that term aliens to some people, some beings that are on this earth, and they really are human-like, it kind of offends them, I was told. It's offensive. It's best to say extraterrestrial or something like that. But then, I don't know, you all. And then they say, "Are we going to have an alien abduction?" Or those UFOs up there, those beings up there, they're demons. How do you know? How do you know they're demons? They could be angelic beings. That's what I'd like to say. How do you know? They could be angelic beings, but they may not look like you and us. They may not. And they may be beings of the light. They don't need to travel around in the darkness, do they? But then we have these beings that move around in the darkness. They wait till it gets dark out. That's when they do their business in the dark, where they can't be seen and they can move freely. That's right. And they're not a glowing being. They're not a being that shines bright in the night walking around doing their business because everybody would see them. No, it's at nighttime when they do it. Nighttime. You have to ask yourself why. Why at nighttime? Why not appear during the daytime during the light? Because some beings, some entities don't like the light. They don't. They can't. It weakens them. It weakens them when they get into the light, you all. It does. This stuff right here that's going on, these beings of the light, these beings that travel around in darkness, this is all real, you all. They're on this earth. They're under the earth. They're in the seas. Just like humans. We got good humans and we got bad humans. That's right. Pillars of smoke by day and fire by night. That's right. Hello. So, we're talking about are we living in the past, present, and future? Some people feel that we are, and the future that is predicted was predicted way back in the past, so it's already happened. The future has already happened when it's predicted because someone was able to see. They went there. Their spirit, okay, their spirit Their spirit goes there, like in the John in the book of Revelation, his spirit was taken and he saw all these things. He had an out-of-body experience, you all. And people have out-of-body experiences. That's what they have. So you can't really knock somebody when they say, oh, I did an astral travel. Well, it sounds like John did astral traveling in his dream state or in his physical state. His spirit literally was taken to another space. It's just like the Scrooge. You know that Scrooge? I don't forget the name of it. He was not very nice, and the spirits, they came and showed him his past, present, and future. Yeah, so we can't knock people who say they astral travel, their spirit leaves their body, or remote viewers and things like that, you all, because it's possible. It's very possible. Now, some may make it up, but I believe that there are genuine people who do have the ability to do that. That's right. Now, some people have literally, this is true, they have felt their self when they were caught up in the spirit. They felt their spirit getting ready to hover over their body. Thank you, LM Savvy. Over their body. They felt it while they were physically alert. They felt their spirit doing that. Has that happened to you? You literally felt your spirit doing that? Because your vibration within your being was so elevated. You were like on cloud 9. That's right. Oh, my goodness gracious. I know. And see, that's the thing. We need to learn how. But how can we when we have all the chaos going on in the world and the distractions? And really, if this pineal gland up here, if they deliberately calcify it, and if that is supposed to be our spiritual connection up there, then how are we supposed to, or is that the pituitary? Somebody tell me the difference between the pituitary and the pineal gland, you all. Some people have a very prominent pituitary gland too. Let me flip this around, you all, because there's something to it. I know a long time ago, I remember watching this video. There was this presentation being given by the military in this stadium or this great big old auditorium, and they wanted to be able to do something to where they could block religious extremism in people. They did not want that connection. Yeah, pineal gland, forehead, yeah, third eye. In several ways, I'm looking at the sun, and the last half hour will do it. Yeah, I've heard of that right there. It said a hippocampus. You know what was really strange? When my daughter was in the 5th grade, my daughter was, you know, a small, petite girl. And her hair was thin and stuff. In 5th grade, you know, she was very intelligent, and she was fidgety. And her teacher, his name was Mr. Barry something, can't remember his name. He said, I think she has ADD. I think you need to go take her to the doctor and have her checked out. And I thought, there's nothing wrong with my daughter. That's when we lived in Maryland. We went to Walter Reed. Walter Reed's very prestigious. Okay, Walter Reed Medical Center. They ran blood tests on my daughter. That was the first time, and she was terrified to have blood drawn. The second time we came back, they wanted to do more blood tests, but this time, that specialist, he brought 3 or 4 other doctors in with him as my daughter sat on that table. I was in the room with her. They were lifting her hair up like this. They were raising her arms, and they were just looking at her as if she was some type of a specimen. That was really, really strange, and she was terrified of them. And they wanted to draw more blood. I'll never forget it. This is at Walter Reed. My daughter's in the 5th grade. And they were checking all kinds of things in her blood. But they did. They brought the people in the room and they were going like this and looking at her head and all over her body like that as she sat there. It was very strange, you all. Very, very strange. Now, mind you, I was 9 months pregnant with my daughter when I got lost on Highway 101 in California for around 4.5 to 5 hours. I had missing time. And I had went to visit my sister-in-law in our Mustang, and I came back on the way home. I left in the afternoon, early afternoon. I remember driving by the sign that said Monterey Peninsula. I thought, I don't live on a peninsula. We only had one car. And the next thing I knew, I was coming around the mountain on Highway 101. The bright light was in my face like that. And I remember pulling the steering wheel thinking I'm going to have a head-on collision. And then the next thing I knew, I was at home. My husband said, "Where you been?" I said, "Well, I got lost." He said, "For 4.5 to 5 hours, your mother's worried sick back in Indiana." I was pregnant with my daughter during that missing time. I don't know what happened. That's all I know is the big bright light. But as she sat there on that table at Walter Reed, they didn't, and they talked about that hypothalamus, whatever you're talking about, hypothalamus, something like that. But yeah, they just do like that and freaked her out, you all. And I don't like that word, but I didn't like them doctors. I thought, this is really strange, and it still bothers me today. So how did we get on that? Oh yeah, our spiritual connection and out of body experience. People can. There's this guy who does it. He meditates, and you could see. They share videos of him on the Facebook at times. I haven't been there for a long time, but you can see his spirit hovering out of his body at times, and it glows like his aura. Oh my goodness gracious, you all. So there's so much more to us than meets the eye. And that third eye is very prominent. It really is. And truly, if fluoride really calcifies that pineal gland, and when you go to the dentist with your children and they say, leave that fluoride in your mouth for 30 minutes and don't drink nothing or eat nothing so it can thoroughly absorb into your system. That's a big mouthful of fluoride stuff, you know, on your teeth and stuff. And then the toothpaste. Brush your teeth for 3 minutes. Gargle this for however long. Yeah. That's right, you all. So, and you can sometimes tell if that's blocked in people when they're not so spiritually oriented in their mind. Okay, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's like a disconnect, like they can't really see into the spiritual realm. They can't, and they're not even going to entertain that at all. They're not. Olive oil and coconut oil, baking powder. You had a vivid dream the sun before it was headed elevator, it passed through us. Wow. Torsen, I've heard of Torsen fields. They're cutting my signal, Gina. It sounded like a robot. Really? Well, I wonder why they did that. That's all right. That's fine, you all. That's fine. We can do it. The eye of Ra is the pineal gland. Yeah. And you know how they have the Anunnaki holding that pine cone? Like that? And did they not say? Some people describe that pineal gland as non-necessary. But yet they'll talk about the reptilian brain that kicks in the survival mode. The reptilian brain, but you don't need that up there. Yeah. The sporting the wristwatch too. That's right. And and you know, you had to ask yourself about, it says, when they say, let us make man in our own image, let us. Um, there's so many things out there, you all. And you know, we got your genetically modified crops, animals, hybrids and stuff. Those, they're on the earth, and this has been going on for years and years and years. And you know, you had the goat man, you had the moth man. And in Greek mythology, you have half man and half animal too. That's in Greek mythology, you all. There is a history that is hidden, and we know it. We do. That's right. It is his kingdom. It is his kingdom, Gariel. That's what it says. Okay, so let's think about this. So, as Jesus stood on top of that mountain, the devil stood there too. I will give you all of this if you bow down and worship me, because it was all of his to give. Those were his kingdoms, and he offered them. Who gave him that, you all? And did he ever leave the earth? Because he said that on the earth, I will give you all of this if you bow down and worship me. And he didn't. This is his kingdom on this earth. This is his, right here. This is his domain. And he also was walking through the earth, back and forth in the book of Job, just walking back and forth inside the earth. When that happened too, you all, there's lots of things out there. There's so much to learn and such little time to learn it in. But then our spirits know on the inside, they do. And it's okay. We don't have to have all the information and all the knowledge. We don't. I don't think we could contain it. We couldn't. And we don't need to. The more the knowledge, the more the grief. And much study wearies the body, and it does weary the body. The more you know, the more, especially if it's a lot that you know and it's not pleasant, it's burdensome, you all. It really is very burdensome. So the past, present, and future. The future, someone looked into the future and they saw what was going to happen, because I think the future has already happened. It's like when they say such and such is light years away, that many light years away. The event took place, whatever this is, way in the future, but it hasn't made its way to where we are right now. But they knew. Yeah. Giving you a chance of two bodies to come back and tell me the right and have this life. Yeah. Back to the future. Christine, you hovered over your body a lot when you was young. Laughing and dancing. That's right, it does. It does raise the vibration. It gives you energy too. And some people, depending on how you're raised, dancing is a sin. You are not to dance. It's of the devil. So therefore, you don't want to dance. If you've been in bed, had that embedded in your life, in your mind all your life, I never knew how to dance. I really didn't. I wanted to dance, but I didn't know how. But then now I just dance for my spirit. And it makes me happy because I'm free. I'm a free spirit. And I don't want nobody to tie me down. Don't tie my spirit down. Don't do it. That's right. It is. It's liberating. Your spirit is able to, if you dance from your spirit's able to, it can be free. It can be free. And you can use this body, just move your arms and stuff. It's great. It really is great. It does lift the vibration. And it, yeah, it makes me happy. There's that one bumblebee. That's right. a 1/3 of heaven to come back with him. That's right. He's already here. Just think, he was on the earth during Jesus's time. On the earth. The earth is his domain. It's his kingdom. Already on the earth. And that was thousands of years ago, you all. According to biblical account. Thousands of years ago. That's right. Yeah. You used to dream that you was thrown off a bridge. Oh my gosh. And you started changing dreams so you would bounce back up. Oh, that's wonderful, Penny. That is wonderful. Gina, do you have OnlyFans? What's an OnlyFan? I don't turn the fan on. I can't see this, you all. I don't know what that was. Yeah. Dancing is fun. It is. Oh, Susan, honey, you caught that. Thank you, Susan, honey. I do not get out there. I don't like that kind of stuff. That's right. Oh my gosh. All right, you all. I'm probably going to go. What am I supposed to be doing in there? I'm supposed to be cutting up some bell peppers that I had already de-seeded, but I wanted to come out here and do a video. You all, it feels really nice out here right now. It does. It feels real nice. The temperature is right like that, and the humidity's not bad. I'll probably go de-seed those bell peppers, and yeah, and then maybe tonight, if I'm supposed to, I want to do the one video that I wanted to do the night before. But if it's not meant, I won't be able to do it, you all. I won't. So yeah. Kelly, honey, you're going to have chicken parmesan. Do you take the chicken parmesan and is it like a chicken breast and you put it in the oven like that? I used to make something like that when put like spaghetti sauce over it with some cheese when the kids were little. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, you know what me and my daughter did? You know, you got to get creative when you cook if you had to eat, you know, certain foods. Oh, wow, yeah. I boiled 2 cups of egg noodles, cooked egg noodles, a can of mushroom soup, a can of condensed chicken soup, 2 cups of mixed vegetables, and some chicken that she had picked off the bone, and mixed it together, put some garlic and salt and pepper in it, and put it in a baking dish, and she sprinkled some breadcrumbs over it, and then some Parmesan cheese, and we baked it in the oven. And it's setting on my stove top. I thought, let me look in here. I thought, I'm not hungry right now. Let me show you what it looks like. I could have had it a little bit more golden, but yeah, I thought, you know, we can do it with even the food that we got laying around the house. We can. So even though it's small, you know, let's see if you can see it. My stove is dirty. I can't even see. Oh, here it is, you all. So it's got chicken and cream of chicken soup and cream of mushroom with breadcrumbs sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. I'm going to eat it. And then I got these bell peppers. I got to dice them up because I've just de-seeded them. Yeah, Susan, I want to take a walk, and then I want to eat some of that. And see that I just use canned goods more or less. And I'm thinking I might be able to do that. Is what I'm thinking. At $3.50 for like $3.50 for like 30 minutes. Yeah. So, I am going to be going because I need to get busy. I do. That's right, you all. We can get creative with our cooking, even if it's canned goods. We can, because it's got a long shelf life. Oh, you got something, chickpea flour. Any parts of water, then you can put anything in the bowl and fry it in hot oil. Yeah, that's right. It is good to eat some, and it's simple food, and you don't have to leave your house. That's the best part, you all. Stuffed duck with hand-picked wild rice. I've had duck, but not stuffed duck. That's right, you all. Thank you, iconic. Yes. I'm going to go, you all. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, the past, present, and future is a pretty interesting theory. It is. So thank you for coming on here, and I've enjoyed it. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. I hope to see you later tonight. Thank you, Susan, honey. Yeah.